This video contains commentary. What's good, you beautiful little Dudosaurus Rexes? Welcome back to Storytime with your favorite Reddit fairy. My name is Lorna, and today we're getting into some r/ChoosingBeggars. So without further ado, smash that subscribe button or else I'll have to send Karen over to your house, and let's get right into it. Take down my tree or else! Posted by user _asshole. This didn't happen to me, but it happened to my mother. My mom bought some choice property lakeside for really cheap. She's put 2 years of labor and her own days off to fix it up and take down all the underbrush to build her own place out there. The only problem was the neighbors. Around Christmas last year, a tree fell from our neighbor's yard into ours. Not an issue. Mom went to the neighbor's place to chip in some money to help get it off her yard. She offered $150, which is pretty gratuitous considering a basic tree removal package is about $400, and it wasn't her tree in the first place. There was about a third of the tree on our property, and honestly, she probably could have taken it out with a chainsaw in 3 hours. But she didn't have the time or energy to do it, which is understandable. The neighbors start negotiations that went something like this. Mom: well, I don't mind chipping in a bit to help move the tree off of our properties. James, the neighbor: well, that would be super kind of you. We're looking at about $500 from you, and we could pay the other $500. Mom: I'm sorry, what? I don't know what tree service you're using, but I'm sure I could find one cheaper than that so we could both save some extra money. James: no, we always use my brother's company. He does great work, and I'm sure he'd have it done in no time. Mom: your brother has a tree company? James: well, he does construction, and he helped us build this place, and he'll help us out whenever we ask. Mom: would he be willing to do it for less if he's your brother? James: what? No, he's a businessman. He might go lower for us considering we're family, but it'll still be $500 for you. Mom: I'm sorry, but I can't afford to pay $500 to have this removed off of my property, especially when I know I could get it removed entirely for $500 from someone else. James: well, you offered us the money to help, and that's what we're asking. So I'm sure this would all blow over after the $500 comes through. Mom refused, of course, and this pissed the neighbors off so much that they took the tree down, but only on their side. I went out and spent my weekend cutting the rest of the tree down with my mom. We eventually found out that they like to trespass to see the lake from our backyard, so we put up a huge fence. The day we put the fence up, James's wife comes out and moons us. We eventually called the cops with all the threats they were giving us, and lo and behold, they hadn't paid taxes on their house in 5+ years. Their scumbag brother didn't build the house to code either. Let's just say they don't bother us anymore. Oh my goodness, that's some tasty. This should be in probably one of the revenge subreddits too, because looks like the law got involved and all that. But holy shit, I don't understand this. It's your tree. Why should you expect your neighbors to have to pay for it? And especially for someone who has offered you money to take care of it, and you're still gonna be a greedy little fucking piece of shit like that? Come on, man. Be better. Alright, my dudes, how was your day? It's Friday. Happy Friday, my dudes. What are you guys doing for the weekend? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's get into the next story. Some people are shitty humans, it's true. But most of the really insane posts I see here are people very clearly on drugs. Let me explain. Posted by user Made You a Sandwich. I've been sober for 11 years, and I'm telling you, most of the really, really insane beggars here are drug addicts. You see, addiction puts the brain in survival mode. It tells you, if you don't get your drugs, you're gonna die. People will sell their bodies, blood. Fuck, they'd even try to sell their kids to get their shit when they're withdrawing. While their brains are in survival mode, they will do or say anything to get what they want so they can score. These online marketplaces are basically what back alleys used to be. where desperate people go to buy and sell whatever they can find to make a quick buck to hit up their dealer to get high. What you're seeing in their hustle looks like insanity, when it's actually desperation. They will say anything they can to someone to try to get something for the next to nothing so they can turn it around for a few bucks to score. Please, please, please be careful selling things to strangers on the internet or even giving away things for free. Meet them in a public place. Don't carry tons of cash. Keep your ID and wallet locked in your car. Don't let them handle the object or ride it or hold it unless there's no way they could get away. Don't let them suggest where to meet up. They could be working with other people to rob you. Be safe. Prepare for them to do something absolutely insane when you do meet up. Drug addiction is a disease, and heavily addicted people are temporarily insane. But take precautions. There's always all these comments on my videos where do these people come from? Well, looks like from somebody who has experience as one of those people. Here's just a small side of it, I guess. Like I said, you can never assume to know somebody's story. And it's really sad that something you went to for comfort at some point is now your downfall. I'm not condoning drug use here. I'm just making a statement, that's all. But it's just sad, that's something somebody reached out for. Maybe they didn't have the people around them for emotional support. They needed something. Who knows? You can never begin to know what someone's situation's like, and that's really sad. But this is the dark side of the Choosing Beggars, you know what I'm saying? But that gives us a little bit of insight, so interesting to note. Let's get into the next story, my dudes. This is getting a little dark, so let's get into this one, and it is called Long One, but it's going to be worth it. Posted by user Mortiz. This is a long one, but it sure is juicy. So grab some snacks and dig in. I'm an amateur photographer. I have a decent camera and goes out for photo shoots whenever I feel like it. I do often get clients asking me to take some portraits of them, which I usually accept. They would often offer to pay me, but I would kindly refuse since I do this as a hobby, and I feel like I'm nowhere near as good as a skilled photographer should be. However, I do ask for the right to post 2 pictures from the photo shoots to post on my Instagram account for publicity, which they gladly accept. A few days ago, I did a photo shoot with 2 girls as they wanted to get some photos celebrating their friendship or something. I guess it's a girls' thing. I had no issue with this, so I went for it. We had a great time. They were nice. They offered to pay me. I kindly refused. Then they offered to have lunch with them, which I accepted. I did the usual thing. I asked them if I could pick 2 photos from the photo shoot to have it on my feed, which they said they don't mind at all. I was feeling gracious, so I gave them 2 hours out of my time and was willing to have around 20 pictures from the shoot edited for them. Everything went well. They picked 20 pictures. I edited for them. I have 2 of their pictures on my feed. Everyone's happy. Here comes the entitled friend, whom I'll refer to as EF. EF wasn't necessarily a friend, but just someone I followed on Instagram. She was friends with the girls that went on the photo shoot with, so word must have gotten around that I did the photo shoot for free. Entitled friend then messaged me, saying how she loved my pictures and edits, to which I replied in a humble manner as I wanted to keep it professional in the account I'm using as my portfolio for my hobby. She then asked if I would take some pictures of her, to which I said sure, but we might have to pick a good date for the both of us since I've got a few tests coming up soon. All of us in the story are around the age of 17 or 18. And this is the conversation that follows. Entitled friend. Well, that's your problem, isn't it? Me. Pardon me? I have a few tests coming up to prepare for, which is why I won't be able to do the photo shoot for the following dates. Entitled friend. You're not even good enough to be declining a photo shoot. Me. I'm not declining the offer, entitled friend. I'm only moving it out to a further date where I wouldn't be juggling with my studies and the bunch load of photos to edit. They take time and effort. Entitled friend. Give me your number. Your replies are so slow. I was only replying to 2 other conversations at the time, so how slow could I have been? So I give her my number. As this is a phone conversation, most of the conversation would be paraphrased. My phone rings and I pick up and say, "Hello, entitled friend."
Ah, this is better. Now, I want you to come over by the insert date, and I want 2 days photo shoot with 4 different outfits.
I cut her off. "You want me to come over? You do realize I live 200 miles away from you, right?" Entitled friend.
Don't you dare interrupt me again. Now I'm a customer and I deserve to make demands that will suit my needs. I want to get about 80 photos so I can post them on my Instagram. I give you credit for it and don't worry. I'm going to need 2 days to get everything done since I have several different outfits to take pictures with. Now, to what you said, it's only 200 miles. I'm sure you could do a quick drive over and stay for a couple of days. I'll refer you to a good hotel and a few good restaurants. Oh, and just to be clear, I won't be paying you since you didn't ask your other 2 friends for your other work.
There was a pause. Me. "Are you done?" Entitled friend.
Yeah, that about sums up what I want to say.
Me. "All right, so you're telling me that you want me to come all the way to your city, stay at a hotel, everything at my own expense, just to take a crap load of pictures of you for the length of 2 days and get nothing in return?" Entitled friend.
Well, you will get exposure.
Me. "All right, I'm hanging up. Good day to you." And I hang up. She started calling non-stop for a solid 5 minutes. When that didn't work, she bombarded my Instagram account with literally about 50 messages calling me a coward, how much of a dick I am, that she's only asking for a favor. She also included some threats on how she's going to spread the word around that I'm asking her to take sensual pictures of her, among other things. I knew this was going to bite me in the ass later on, so I screenshot all the conversation we had. I also recorded the phone call we had because I always record calls just because I genuinely don't trust people with their words. This just went past my head and I didn't hear anything about it for a few days. Then 2 days ago, I have one of the 2 best friends ask me to take down her pictures I have on my feed. She was polite and I couldn't have it up on my wall without her approval. I asked her why and that I will have it taken down by the end of the day, to which she says, "If you're going to post sensual pictures, I won't want anything to do with it." I laughed as I knew exactly what was going on. I told her not to worry, that I won't be taking sensual pictures of anyone and that she shouldn't trust everything she hears. I then explained to her what had happened and surprisingly, she believes me. She told me that she is entitled and that she has a hard time when she doesn't get things her way. She also adds that entitled friend is spreading the rumor around that I should do something to protect my reputation, and that's exactly what I did. The revenge part. I have every conversation with her either recorded or have a photo of our conversation on social media, so I wasn't scared. I then sent a simpler version of everything, along with the recorded voice call, to both of the best friends that I did the photo shoot for. They were both on my side and spread it like wildfire. The entitled friend was livid. She proceeded to tell people that those messages are photoshopped. She played the victim card, but no one believed her. She then points her anger towards me and messaged me with her other account. I blocked her on both Instagram and her number, and told me to delete everything. Then I blocked her again. From what I heard from the 2 best friends, she got grounded for 3 months, no phone, no going out, and no traveling. Music to my ears. This occurrence even helped me grow my photography account. I gained over 200 followers thanks to that incident, and a lot of requests for photo shoots. Sadly, however, I'm not very interested in doing portraits anymore, at least for now, and only take landscapes for the time being. Nonetheless, it was good publicity. Entitled friend, if you're reading this, thanks for the exposure. Oh my god, okay. So, I wonder how many people are going crazy asking for the screenshots, and they're probably like, why the fuck did you post a story instead of the screenshots with it, but I'm kind of happy because I prefer to read stories, as most of you know, but it's just kind of funny that they chose not to include them, you know? It kind of makes you question the validity of the story. A little bit, it does, a little bit. But yeah, way to ruin somebody's day. That's great. But my dudes, if somebody's asking you to do a service for them, then clearly they find your skill good enough that you should be charging. Your time is worth something. Not just maybe you don't think your skill is up to par, but at least your time is worth something. They're taking you away from doing something else, then you should be compensated, even if it's just a little bit. When I was younger and I started doing things, it's like, sure, $10. I'll do this for $10. Whatever, like this, anything. You should value your time and your work. Definitely. Like, don't give people things for free, because then this is what happens. Oh, my dudes. Let's get into the next story, and this one is called I'm Reporting You to Etsy, posted by user Ursus Renata. I'm not assembling the screens of this conversation because this potential customer, an older professional woman, repeatedly messaged us via 4 different business comms: Etsy, support email, website contact form, and Instagram, as well as phone messages. So, here's the Reader's Digest condensed text version. I've read similar story posts here and thought, these are all too similar. They must be scripted. Then, it happened to me. A real life choosing beggar Karen. What are the odds? Potential customer. Can you make these wall hangings with our mascots? Me. Absolutely. Sounds fun. Just send your high-resolution artwork or links when you place your order, and we will include 2 design iterations on the central emblem. Same day. Her. Here are the mascots, logos, color schemes, and additional designs in low-resolution JPEG. We need these right away. I really want to get them on the walls. Me. That's a lot of elements, and they're all low resolution. That makes each hanging a completely custom design from scratch. Everything will have to be redrawn. Since you're ordering several of them, we will go ahead and tackle the designs per the standard pricing if you stay within 2 design edits only. Her. Okay, definitely. Get started. Me. As soon as the order is placed, we will schedule them in our design queue. 3 days later. Her. Where are the design drafts? I can't wait to see them. Me. Oh, I'm sorry about any confusion. Artwork gets scheduled in as soon as the orders are placed. Go ahead and place your order and we will get started. 3 more days later. Her. Didn't I tell you that we want to get these up right away? Me. Yes, I understand. Please place your order soon because even after designs are finished, it still takes 2 days for the ink to dry completely before we can trim out and sew wall decor. A week later. Her. Where does our artwork stand? I've been waiting far too long for first drafts. You said you'd get on it right away and that it looked fun. Me. Indeed, it does look fun, and it's a lot of work too. We can't get started on custom designs until orders are placed due to the investment of time required and the other paid orders we have to work on. A week later. Her. I need these right now! How are you not understanding this? Me. Go ahead and place your order, and they'll be put in the design queue right away. 3 weeks later. Her. I'm reporting you to Etsy. Oh, gross. What is wrong with people? I see in my crochet groups all the time, people are getting burned because they take orders from randos like this and they finish it and they send it and then the person starts ghosting them. Like you put, who knows, depends on your skill, how long it takes somebody to make a blanket. Like it could be for one person 40 hours, somebody else it could be like 300 hours. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of time somebody puts into that. And then when you ghost somebody after, like you're a dick. This is why I always say at least 50% up front. Charge them 50% up front. But this is easier because there's a cart. But there's still people that think that you can get around placing an order because they don't want to pay up front. I get it. Etsy is yes, they're full of people. They're full of sellers that, like independent sellers, that they're not corporations that people are overly familiar with. So when they've never bought something from Etsy before, they're like, is this person legit? Which is understandable because there's some questionable things on Etsy that why are they selling it for this much? You know, because it's just crap. But anyway, let's not go there. But there places like that just seem to attract these choosing beggars. So I try to stay away from it. This is why I try not to sell any of the things I make. I like to gift the things I make instead because usually they're going towards somebody who's gonna appreciate it. I won't make things for people I know won't appreciate it. And there's people like that ask me to make them things all the time too, and I'm just like, no, you never talk to me. Why am I gonna make you something? Just fuck off. All right, let's get into the next story, my dudes. I'm rambling, I know, but you love it. And this one is called Sister Insists I Work for Her After I Said I Wouldn't. Posted by user Osiria. Osiria. Fuck, I failed at that. Okay, anyway. Not sure this goes here. My sister works for this company that makes exercising books for middle and high school students. She offered me to submit some exercises myself for my field of study. It requires 1 page about one topic. I would also get paid. Unfortunately, I was in the middle of writing my thesis and had little time. She already promised her company that I would do it without my consent. Because I didn't want her to look bad in front of her company, I decided to do it. But instead of 2 weeks' time, she gave me a weekend. And instead of 1 topic, she wanted me to do 3. I only managed to do 1, and she got pissed that I didn't uphold my promise. Also, I ended up never getting the money. It was transferred to her account. Why? This makes me so sad to hear about siblings like this. Why? Stop taking advantage of your fucking blood, man. That's like, don't. God, I sound like such a pothead. Don't do that, man. Dave's not here, man. You guys, this is why I never have any bloopers, because I just leave all this shit in. I'm such an idiot. Alright, I know it's a sad time, but this is the last story of the day, my dudes. This one is called ChoosingBeggars left me a 1-star review. Posted by user Hamtron. Here's the story. I was unloading some extra building material I had from my basement and garage projects. A few bags of insulation, lumber, stuff like that. I had a very detailed list of what I had. ChoosingBeggars inquires about the material. He also mentions he lives out of town, but great news for me, he's in town right now and can come get the stuff. I haven't responded yet because I have someone on their way to get it, so I let him know that person is on their way. He launches into a tirade about how he's a senior and how if I was faster at responding, he would have come and grabbed the stuff already. Then he gives me a list of stuff he needs, stuff I don't have, and the price he will pay. He's wanting a $100 bag of insulation for $20, times 30. I told him I'm not a hardware store and what I have is what I have. Next thing I know, I have a 1-star review saying I canceled an order and was unprofessional. I'm not even sure he's a choosy beggar, more of a complete crazy person. I think so. I think this guy probably thinks that anybody selling something online is probably a business. So, yeah, he probably is too old to know any better, is probably a little bit delusional and thinking that he's back in the days of his childhood where things cost that much. I don't know. This is, it's hard to say. But it does sound to me like an old man that's just kind of losing his mind. All right, my dudes, that's all I've got for you today. If you reached this far in the video, you're the real MVP. Oh my god, thank you so much. If you did like it, please smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications for future videos just like this one. As always, the links to these stories will be in the description, so head on over to Reddit and show those posters some love with some upvotes, my dudes. You know they deserve it. And as always, submit your stories, your images, all that good stuff, anything you want to see in a future video, send it my way. Join the Discord, it's getting fucking lit up in there, my dudes. It sounds so stupid. Anyway, join all that. It's fun. You'll have fun. All my socials are down there. All that fun stuff. And I will see you on Monday, my dudes. Peace out. Not an issue.
Not an issue? Not an issue? You have a tissue for my issue? Taco flavored kisses.
Oh my god. Fuck, I'm so stupid.